Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gat, your host. January 2nd, 2017, 2:18 p.m. The number 218, might want to keep that in mind for people that do numerology. Now this person is a wonderful person. They contacted me. They even sent me a wonderful letter, so that's good. And what I did before this video, I addressed a lot of stuff. So whatever videos you see before this one, with the date January 2nd, 2017, you might want to listen to those videos because I had put it all in one video or something, but let's just focus on the natal chart and we're going to keep it moving. So that's we're going right into the natal chart. All right. And once again, thank everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. I appreciate it. Thank everybody for the encouragement. 2017 is going to be a great year for people who are coming back to spirit, letting spirit guide you. That is most important for 2017. Whatever you do and whoever you do it with, just make sure you're being guided by spirit. Now, this person was born under the sun sign Scorpio, but if you know the sun and moon sign Scorpio, so this is going to be a very mystical and deep person. So let's I've been doing things a little differently, but this is how I like to do it. See, I'm more into spirit. I'm more into intuition, and spirit takes you where it takes you. You know, and I know it's easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's what my other video was about, how to house assign items on your natal chart. That's a very good video, so that way you don't have to waste time saying, "Hey, well, you know, I did this and it said it was house 2, but you said it was house 1." Yep, I sure did. And I already explained that, so I'm not going to explain it again. Go to that video. And see, since she's a Scorpio, we should spend more time in Scorpio's house, shouldn't we? Wouldn't that make more sense than to say house 1 and house 2? Because by the time you about to house 8, you'll be like, man, I'm so tired. And then the important information, you're almost half asleep because, wow, I had to wait 7 houses. But that's her house, is Scorpio. But you know she's got twin flames going on because her ascendant is Gemini. When you're dealing with the 8th house and Gemini, you know this is a Scorpio thing. And the key about Aquarius is that's when they really come together. That's what that number really means. Aquarius really means when the twins finally, you know, come together. Or you receive some enlightening information that will help you come together. But Aquarius is all about the twins coming together. What do you see, like 2 waves that they're just floating in the water? Everything's happy now. And that's why Aquarius does what? Helps the community. Because they're on a mission. They're supposed to have a mission and help the community. That's what Aquarius does. So Aquarius is really about the two coming together. With just they finally not only realize their purpose, but they're actually doing their purpose. So I'm gonna say to anybody listening, and God works the way God works, because I had a friend come back and say, hey, I've been listening to your videos. I had some time off, and I think they were a little eager to get back into it, the twin flame stuff. But I don't know. I think something happened where they got depressed, because by the time they requested their charts, I got them their charts, and they weren't as happy. I could tell, because I know the person. The person, they can be very distant at times, not always, but they can also be very wonderful. So I just let them be, because they're smart enough to get through it. There wasn't nothing I could say. But this is not the time to be sad about your twin flame. Please stop. Please make it a goal. Trust spirit. Trust the universe. This is going to happen. But you have to get ready. That's why whatever videos I did today, January 2nd, before this one, listen to them. Because I just tell you the truth. The faster you accept that truth, because God is a spirit, and you must worship him in spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. That's what's going to bring you your twin flame. We're on the same journey that, say, the Messiah took through the darkness. And I'm sorry if you don't believe scriptures, but I show you how important scriptures are to your walk. That's like saying, "Oh, I don't believe in the liver. I don't believe it." I hear people talk about a liver, but I've never seen it. I don't believe it. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It doesn't mean that it's not there just because you don't believe it. So that's what we want to do. We want to deal a lot with that 8th house first. We want to make sure we fully understand the 8th house, because in order to fully understand your first house, you're going to fully understand this person. But again, sun sign, divine masculine. There's a twin flame situation. Moon sign. Divine masculine. It's a good chance your twin soul might be a Scorpio or anything with Mars or Aries or anything with Pluto. We'll see. And when I say that, you would have to know your charts, and you would have to have your twins chart, because you may hear it and say, well, he's not a Scorpio, he's not a Mars, but you may see a placement on your chart. But that's the vibe I'm getting, that your twin is probably something closely related to that. And plus, we want to know where your Juno is at, because Juno tells a lot. So that's what's going to be important. Now, I want to pull up. I got distracted. This has been a busy day, but I liked it because a lot of people helped me, because I was like, hey, listen. I said, I got a lot of people. Would you let me do one favor? I said, if possible, let me do your natal chart, the written part, next week, because that's free. Anyway, that's a free report I give out. But I want to do it, but let me do it next week. But I'll do your audio and video this week. And they're like, yeah, okay. They understood. I got a lot because I said I'm a caregiver for my mom. She's elderly. So a lot has to be done with her in the next 2 days. And a lot of housework and a lot of shopping too. So I got to balance everything out. But everybody will be blessed by the universe. Everybody will. So make sure you listen to those videos. I don't think they're that long, because I give a lot of good advice as far as just how to walk in spirit and how to work with spirit and how to take your power back. Because I want to help, but I'd rather see you strong. Nobody should be confused. You don't have to be confused. Not nowadays. You're confused if you're listening to a bunch of other people that don't know what the heck they're talking about. Don't listen to those people. I don't care who they are. Listen to spirit. Spirit will help you. That can be any spirit guide. It could be your horoscope. Listen to spirit. Spirit will help you. That's what spirit wants to do. And there are people on this planet now, and there's going to be more coming, that are going to help people. 2017, you'll watch and see. Mark my words. You'll see. All right, now we're going to the 8th house, but I'm just taking my time. I'm just looking around. All right. And then whenever you get your full report, always look it over. I try to say what's in it, but this time I'm not going to do it this time. For the sake of time, I'm just trying to do a video focused on the houses. But make sure you get your report, look it over, because it's a lot of links you can use, a lot of information to help you as well. All right, we're at the 1st house, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. And I want to count it again. Yep, and there goes Juno, just like I said. 1st house, 2nd house, 3rd house, 4th house, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So let's go to your 8th house. But I wanna do the placement first. I don't know why I keep forgetting to open up my numerology website. You got Scorpio. So you also need to read that information on Capricorn and the gods. Cancer, Capricorn, and the gods. That'll be in your free report. It'll also be in your description box of this video. Because if you notice, you have Capricorn and Scorpio. With Juno. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna type. I'm gonna show Juno 14, 48, and then Palace 10, 14. So right away you see 14 twice. So they're trying to tell you something about that 14. So we'll do that in a moment. But okay. So that's it for your 8th house. So let's do it now. Okay, let me write it out. Please refer to the gods coming through Cancer and Capricorn websites. All I'm gonna write, because you can figure it. Because some people believe it, some people don't believe it. So that's why I don't push it. Like, I know it's true. I already know that everybody here is not born of a human and a woman. There's a lot of earth angels. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. There's other people from planets. It's all kind of stuff going on this planet. But some people believe it, some people don't. But you guys gotta remember, I studied it. I researched it and everything. So, and you can see it in the chart. Like even right now, if you see anything like Capricorn and Cancer in the charts, and you just can see it. Like, you know, so you gotta watch when you watch those videos and watch Santos, because he knows it and he explains it the best. And I'm even gonna write that. I'm gonna put Santos so you know who to look for. And even Jonathan Collect, he's a Christian allegedly, and even he said, you know, he just called them fallen God, fallen angels, or whatever you call it, but it's still the same thing. Higher beings that came into our world. In fact, he goes on to say they're all us. Even he says that. And even a person like Bobby Hemmett used to say that's about us. That ain't about no aliens. That ain't no angels. That's us. So Bobby Hemmett is saying the same thing Jonathan Kleck is. And then you got people like Santos that just explains it better than anybody. And you got a person like me saying, yeah, these are people, like when I say Bobby Hemmett, Santos, and me, these are people that really study, like in-depth study. And Jonathan Kleck he's good at what he does, but I don't think he studied like Bobby Hemmett or me or Santos. But the point is, we all four agree that everybody that's being born as a human ain't necessarily a human. They're coming here. And you see it through Capricorn and Cancer especially. So you got Cancer and Scorpio. So you better understand yourself. So that's why you have to really look at that information. All right. So I'm just going to put that as possible. You are. All I'm going to put is it's possible you are incarnate. So if you say, what does that mean? Okay, well, you have to watch that video. And again, I don't mind doing further research, but you have to see my point. Some people will believe it. Some people won't. And it's not fair to me or to other people to go into a long depth on every video. Oh, you got Cancer, Capricorn. Person might not even believe that. Then I got all these people waiting. You know, it's not fair. So I point you in the right direction. I give you the resources. You can look. But if you want further research, feel free to contact me. And that's fair to everybody involved. I can't be no fairer than that. All right. Now, so we're going to put, now, of course, Capricorns are still hard workers. Now, why the number 14 is so important? Because 15 is a materialistic person. That's a tarot card. It's Capricorn, the devil card. Because Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn, not always, but Saturn can represent the devil when you see it with Capricorn or with the number 15 and stuff like that. But you is 14, so they're trying to tell you something right there. And then Juno always has something. If you want to know what went on in a person's life, go to Juno or Lilith. Study the house they're in, the placement, because they tell you the whole story. If somebody cheated on them, they'll tell you. If Juno will go get her daddy, because see, you got Juno and Capricorn. Well, Juno, this is why I call Saturn Juno's daddy. When you see Saturn and Juno in a house, Juno's saying, "Daddy, I want a serious relationship. Daddy, I want to be married." And Saturn is a shotgun carrying father. Like this, I want to make it happen. That's why they talk about the lessons of Saturn. And Saturn can be connected to karma, which is your 8th house. You got Capricorn, so you can see it. So that's why I'm just. See, the reason why I like this, because now I'm starting to understand this chart. You see, and you can feel a life come in me. That's what I want to do. Why are we talking about, if she's got that much Scorpio, why are we talking about house number 1 and house number 2 and house number 3 first? Not first. You're going to talk about everything, but you should talk about house number 8 first, because I guarantee there's going to be some messages. And I said something about Juno, and there she is. And I didn't know she was going to be there. And I know this is a twin flame situation. Twin soul. All right. So you will be hard. I'm gonna put very concentrated, because that's a Capricorn too, but because of the house that it's in, and this is Scorpio, I don't want to just say hard worker, because you can be a hard worker anywhere, but you're very concentrated. They put Capricorn here for a reason. So you're gonna really be into that 8th house. Now, I don't know if you're an intellectual or not. You may be, very well be. But sometimes it's not always intellect. It's just how you live your life. You may live your life like the 8th house, whereas somebody else may do it intellectually. They may study a lot of books and all that, but you may live your life like a Scorpio. There's a big difference. One may just be a mental. I love to study. I love to study about the occult and the unknown. I like hidden knowledge and stuff, whereas somebody else might live that in their life. So I'm just going to say you will be a very concentrated. So whichever one you're doing, you will be very concentrated. That's Capricorn. And 8th house matters. Now, I might always say, well, what are those 8th house matters you're talking about? We're getting ready to read it. We're going to read the whole thing, something I usually don't do unless I'm dealing with Scorpios, because the 8th house is all about Scorpio and Pluto. But now I want to pull up my website, and I want to get those numbers. So give me a second. I'm just looking around. All right, what we gonna do? Put this over here. And again, this web link is in the description box, as well as in every natal chart, every free report. Somebody looking about Natalie Martinez. I gotta see what they're talking about. Give me 1 second. Natalie Martinez. I hate when they do this. Like they'll say it's a news story, and then you click on it because you think it's some news, and then they don't give you the news. They don't give you the reason why they said trending now and what the story is. She's a spokesperson for Jennifer Lopez. All right. Let me do. I just want to see why. I don't know why she made the news. That's all I'm trying to see. So now I'm gonna put in news and see if anything comes up. News. Natalie Martinez. Trending now. Now it goes news. Here we go. Miss Porterville. I could swear I just saw that. Oh man. I could swear I just saw that word Porterville. This is crazy. Okay, but look what it says. It says notices, but it's kind of in Spanish. It says news 8. See, because we're talking about your 8th house, and now it's talking about news 8, Miss Porterville. 8. It says 8 vying for the title of Miss Porterville. All right, so I'm gonna try to say this and hope I don't forget to put it in your video. Because what I'm trying to tell you is nothing's accidental or coincidental. Because we're in your 8th house right now. And then they're talking about 8 vying for. Alright, give me a second. Now, I hope I don't forget, but if I do, you could easily find it. News, Natalie Martinez, and it says 8 vying for the title of Miss Porterville. Now, beg my pardon. Well, first I want to type in my where I need to be. prophecylastdays.webs.com. Alrighty, give me 1 moment. Because I just feel like I just saw that. And I could be wrong, but I really believe I just saw something with Porterville in it. Oh, I know why I might. I don't know. Because maybe when I was doing this natal chart, I don't know. But I just remember because I got a lot of contacts to this morning. And I think let me see. Show the desktop. Come on. Now I want to come over here. And I'm going to just type Porter to see if anything happens. Alright, PayPal. Where is it at? Alright, so I probably won't be able to find it anyway. Let me see. I got one place I want to look at, and then we'll continue. Alright. So it may be a connection because it's just that number 8 showing up, and we're in the 8th house. It shows it's something there. But sometimes in cases like that, it's somebody listening, or something like that. And when I think about Natalie, you know who I think about? Natalie Woods, because they allege she was murdered by, possibly murdered by her husband. I don't know if that's true. Sometimes people do fake their own death. I mean, I don't know what happened. That'll always be a mystery of what happened. So, we live in a crazy world. All right, so let's continue. So, we want to do number 14 since that seems to be what they're trying to tell you something about the number 14. Souls working in matter to unify. All right. So the number 14 is that journey to unify, because the twin souls have to become one. And you might as well do 48 just to get an idea of what's going on here. Represents the spiritual man uniting himself to the divine power. So again, it's the twins coming together. Yep. And what was the next number? 10 is 5 and 5, which is involution, evolution. So that they're showing you that the twin souls coming together. And if it was Capricorn 15, it would be the souls bound. But they're giving you some hope in your 8th house that you won't be bound. That's why they didn't give it to you in 15, they gave it to you in 14. That's their way of telling you you two will come together and won't be bound by materialism or earthly thinking. Because materialism is not always money. It's just like people that are just too much. They're way more earthly than spiritual. Okay, so we're going to read this whole thing and we're going to be summarizing, but listen very well because this is you. This is Scorpio. Your moon sign and your sun sign. Well, wait a minute. Let me look at that again. Give me 1 second, y'all. I digress. Oh yeah, see you're Colville, and that's Porterville. That's crazy. Porter, Cole. Remember, coal is like a fiery journey, a fiery judgment. See, in John chapter 21, it was all about the beast. I keep telling, and I just got finished talking about the book of Job and the beast. And Jesus talked about the dragging the net. Well, that's the dragon who comes in. He puts people in captivity. Revelation 13, that's the beast. So then, because Peter was always selling Jesus out, he said, Peter, do you love me more than these? And then they were talking about the coals of fire. See, that's God's judgment. You got Colville. But now Porter, that's different. I think that's like John chapter 10. It talks about the porters at the door and he'll let you in. Just like I recently did a scenario where I was on my way into Philly, and I didn't want to go to Philly. But I was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I was on my way over this bridge to go into Philly. But I turned around because I wanted to stay in Cherry. I didn't want to go to Philly. I wanted to go to Cherry Hill because I had a date and blah, blah. This was a long time ago. But what I did was I connected with my soulmate at that time. Not my twin soul, but I connected with my soulmate and got myself in a whole lot of soul earthly related sin. But Philly represents the resurrection. Philadelphia represents in the Bible, the book of Revelation, the church, Revelation 3. The church of Philadelphia represents the ascension, or what they call the rapture. So what I metaphysically was being shown was that you're going to this female who has almost the same name, R-O, as my twin flame now. You're choosing her over your ascension. But I didn't know all that metaphysics now, just looking back. But see, this person contacted me for a reading from Cherry Hill. And she resonated with what I said. I knew what I was saying, but I really didn't know what I was saying until I thought about it. Then I read her email, and then it made sense. Yeah. You're either going to solar ascend, or you're going to keep talking about stuff that really belongs to the moon. And then you kind of got that on your chart. See, I keep trying to tell you everything is a story. This is a divine mission. Now, I'm not telling anybody what decisions to make. But whatever you see right now going on, there's a reason for it. So even if it looks like, oh, my sun sign's not Scorpio, what is he talking about? I had to go that way so they could show me Porterville and Colville. Porter is the ascension. You ain't coming back. That's John chapter 10. You're going to be with the Father, going to be with whatever you want to say, going through solar ascension, going to be with the Father, going to be with the Son, solar ascension. But Colville, which you see at Joel 23, Cole, that's the discipline. That's like staying here. Because if you notice in your Bible, Revelation chapter 17, verse 10 and 16, as they burn Babylon the Great, the coal, the fire, the ascension occurs in 18. Start talking about angels and stuff like that. That represents the ascension. All right. So now let's go back. We're going back to the beginning of your information. I'm going to look at it again. All right. Now I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, that's what happened. This is what's going on. See, I hear Scorpio, so I go to the house ruled by Scorpio. You understand? I go to the house ruled by Scorpio. But just because they're not talking about the house, they're talking about the constant. Let me get it straight. They're talking about the sign. They're talking about the sign, but it's still the same thing. I did the right thing, but I have to go to where the sign is at, and I just got to determine if I want to do that just yet. This is sweet. Because you got the house, and then you had the actual sign. And I'm believing that the sign represents the constellation. Yes, it does. And then the house just represents what it rules over. And every now and then you see it line up. Like you'll go to the 8th house and Scorpio will be there. Every now and then it lines up. But a lot of times it doesn't. But so everything you heard was correct. But they did all that again so that I could make the correlation between Porterville and Colville. So that was a message for her. See, I keep saying this is all divine timing. So they wanted me to explain the difference between. See, solar ascension, lunar reincarnation or moon reincarnation are people that are going to keep on reincarnating because they don't walk in the spirit. See, the more you walk in the spirit, the more you will solar ascend. And that's why, like, even Christians believe you got to watch saying, oh, this is my soulmate, because you actually make a soul contract with that person. And that means that anything that happens to that person got to happen to you. So if that person ain't going nowhere, then it's going to happen to you. So they say be very careful when you talk about soul contracts. Now, Christians tend to believe that if you have the Messiah, you will solar ascend. It don't matter, as long as you're faithful. Like as long as you walk in the spirit, you will solar ascend. Because that's why he came to save you. Not just save you from, well, the moon is sin. That's why the moon is called sin. So he came to save you from lunar reincarnation or moon reincarnation. Because that doesn't stop. That goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. And then every 52,000 years or so, a portal opens up. That's why you got Porterville. This is how you know I'm not lying to you. That's the doorway that Jesus talks about. Every 52,000 years or so, a portal opens up, the porter. And then you have the opportunity to solar ascend, but only if you've been walking in the spirit. And then some people say just get your vibrations higher, stuff like that. But I say when you walk in spirit, then you have a focus and a purpose. When you tell somebody just get your vibrations higher, there's no focus there. Vibrations higher for what? Where am I directing this heightened vibrations? Nothing, So that could be considered a catchphrase. Even if the person no they're sincere, but it's still a catchphrase. So I always try to give, the reasons by everything I say. So I think they wanted you to understand that, and now that we understand that, we can go to your I just don't know if do I want to go to your 8th house? I mean, do I want to go to Scorpio just yet? I don't know. Where's your true node? Is it anywhere near there? Oh, plus I still want to read the 8th house. That's what I want to do now. And then I'll decide. I really don't know. I may not go to your 8th house yet. I mean, I may not go to your sign of Scorpio yet. But I definitely want you to understand the 8th house. The 8th house concerns reincarnation, rebirth, twin flames, sexual intimacy, sexuality, deeply committed relationships, inheritances, passions, crisis, transformation, death, rebirth, wills, change of self, change of ways, financial investments, the occult, psychic abilities, magic, metaphysics, jointly held things, taxes, debt, inheritance, shadows of the psyche, emotional intensity, intuition, joint finances, healing, esoteric information. So that's all your 8th house, but we're going to continue. The 8th house is one of hidden mysteries, the biggest of which is the final transformation, which is death. This is what they're saying. It's where you find intense emotional wells, the secrets of the soul that unfold over a lifetime. Often we fear what lies in the 8th house, partly because of its power to end our old way of being. So yeah, whenever you see Scorpio or Pluto coming around, it's a good chance they're about to shake your world up. It's all about transformation and change. And it could be very difficult because you see the world one way, you want to do things one way, and then Pluto, especially if it's Pluto retrograde, he's coming to shake your house up. Compulsions, obsessions, and primal entanglements. These all require serious grappling with the core to untangle. The 8th house concerns those issues that we're often at the mercy of, that feel fated and therefore hard to resolve. It's the life area of sexuality, since merging with another is a kind of death. Orgasm is often called the little death because it's a surrender to the primal energies. The merging with another in the sex act transforms us and is a release to that energy at the core. In the 8th house, you'll find insight about how you got there, how you go there with another. So I'm going to read that again. In the 8th house, you'll find insight about how you go there with another. So when you see Juno in your 8th house, so Juno's kind of telling you that it's a good chance your soulmate might be a Capricorn. But I said, and remember what I said? I said it's a good chance your soulmate might be a Scorpio or Scorpio. I said might be a Scorpio, and I said something about Juno. Now Juno's in your 8th house. So Scorpio, Capricorn. So what I tried to tell you, I was right. Because I said find Juno. Juno might point it out, and Juno just happened to be in your 8th house. So they're kind of telling you that you're like, if we had if we had that person's chart, you may see like a Capricorn or Scorpio presence. And even if it was Pluto still rules Capricorn. Or if it was Saturn still rules. I mean, Pluto still rules Scorpio. So it's still what I said. Or if Saturn rules Capricorn, it's still what I said. Or you might see something significant in your your 10th house. Again, 10th house is ruled by Saturn, because Saturn rules Capricorn and Capricorn rules the house. So you got to really know what they're saying. But I want to read this again. In the 8th house, you'll find insight about how you go there with another, like this says, sexual transformation, and is significant as part of your evolving life. And that's why when somebody says to me, I need everybody to listen, because you've been taught to think a certain way by religion. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I'm smart enough to know I don't know everything. You know, the more I look at these natal charts, the more I have to shut my freaking mouth, because I really don't know. So that's why I try to stay away from judging. And when I do a reading, I just do a reading, because a lot of times I'm dead wrong, and angels have to correct me. So I've learned to just shut up and do what I'm told. That's why I said I'm not out here saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm smart," and oh, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm a little guy from Jersey. See, I have no problem. Piece of trash in Jersey. I have no business with the sacred things of God. But by His mercy and grace, I'm still here, and thank God. So now listen to what's being said. They're saying through the sexual energy, it's part of your evolution. Now, your Christianity would say, oh no, that type of person is this type of person. Oh no, you can't coming out. You can't coming out. But that's why the Bible is always keeping so-called horrors in your face and things like that, because they're trying to tell you something. And if you say the women around Jesus, some of them had 7 spirits or something like that on them and all that. So why would Jesus have these type of people around him? And then you see Jesus, because that energy serves a purpose. So that lifestyle for some, but maybe not for everybody. But you can't judge, because you don't know what that person's real life is, why they're called. And you don't. So I'll leave it at that. But we're gonna say, they say you have the sexual energies, and that's part of the evolution. In the 8th house, you will find insight about how you go there with another person. and its significance as part of your evolving life. The 8th house also deals with other kinds of merging, like finances. Like I said, this is how you know your whole natal chart is about twin union, twin flame, twin soul. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking about merging and joint. Some idiot said, "Oh, people don't know what they're talking about twin flames on astrology. That has the twin flame, twin soul has nothing to do with astrology. Oh, this is about the merging of your soul and your spirit." So when did your spirit start? Hey, Gary, it's your spirit. We need to sit down and talk business. We got to get these bills paid, Gary. And where's my cut? So it is two different souls. It's two different people. That's why don't turn on the YouTube channel running your mouth if you haven't done accurate research. And if you catch myself doing that, which I hope I never do, then I'm gonna have to come back and humble myself. Hey, none of y'all got to hear when Spirit used to send me out here like a little boy. I used to say stuff and Spirit would tell me to come back. I used to feel so embarrassed. I would have to come back out here and correct what I just said because Spirit used to get my ass. That was mama. So we don't play. It's not playing games out here. This is people's lives and stuff. So the 8th house also deals with other kinds of merging, like finances. You discover how a partner's wealth adds to yours or undermines your own resources. Things like inheritance of possessions or money fall here as well. Traditionally, it's been called the house of sex, death, and taxes. And that is why when Jesus was born, they had a question about sex. What happened? Mary was they were trying to imply that Mary might be a whore. See, they had to put that in there because they're talking about the 8th house. And then when they got past that, oh, well, we got to pay these taxes. Now we got to go way to Bethlehem and pay these taxes because they're trying to tell you this is about the 8th house. All right? Traditionally, the 8th house is called the house of sex, death, and taxes. Symbolically, the latter is a price to pay just to ride through this thing called life. And they're telling you, you're paying taxes is symbolically of the 8th house. Plutonian lessons are often like that and defy explanation. So you go through some effed up stuff and you don't know why. That's because of a Plutonian lesson. And you don't know why. But like I said, now I know. I find out God will tell you. He might not tell you right away, but he usually does tell you. He usually tells me. Might not tell me right away, but sometimes it's just like this whole thing I went through. Twin flame was the most intense thing I've ever been through. Like I said, I always say this. If they say you got to make a choice, go and do a number one and take another brutal beatdown from your father. Do a number one, or go to do a number two and take that twin flame experience again. The roughest moments of it. I really don't tell you. I can't tell you what door I would take. It was that painful for me. So Plutonian lessons are often like that. And like God, like they say, it'll defy an explanation. Like you want to know why. Why did I have to go through this? And you may not get your answer. But I find out the more you get to know God, He will give you an answer. They say it's a mystery to be lived. Whatever you go through in a plutonial experience, and your twin soul, twin flame experience is a plutonial experience because Pluto rules the 8th house of twin soul, twin flames, and everything else. So they said even if you don't fully understand why you go through these plutonial lessons, it's all about transformation. You need to understand that. But they say you just have to accept it and understand it. The 8th house involves the soul level change we go through in a lifetime. So you're changing in your soul. So that's why I keep trying to tell you. Somebody may have been married for numerous amounts of times for a reason. And they may say to you, because you don't know. It's not really their fault and it's not your fault. Because if you've gone through religion, you've been trained. So if they say to you, you know, I've been married 6 times and it was really a journey for me. You look at that person and you go 6 times. Or you might just think it in your head 6 times. But if you know the natal chart and this information, and then you find out they're a Scorpio or whatever, you could understand what they're saying. It makes perfect sense if you know all that. But if you don't know all that, you're gonna say, "What the heck?" The 8th house involves the soul level change we go through in a lifetime. Your many deaths or transformations, just like this person is saying, are colored by the sign on the crust and the planetary action there. Well, your sign is Mars, so you really got it going on. Now, Mars isn't on your bridge or your crust, but it's close enough. Like, I would definitely consider. See, that's why I didn't just want to jump to the Scorpio sign. It's not about just jumping. You want to be told. You want to be led. This is when you know you're dealing with a really good intuitive person, because they're not trying to just sit there like they know so much and they're so smart and you're coming to them and you're so stupid and you need them and blah, blah, blah. No, they're saying, I don't know either. Let's walk through this journey together. Let me figure it out because I don't know. Let's trust spirit. That's a real astrologer or a card reader or whatever else. And when you have a card reader, if they're doing tarot and your card comes upside down and they go, we don't deal with that here, and turn the card upside down, get the hell away from that person. Get the hell away, because they're disrespectful and they're not letting the spirit lead. You don't lead the spirit leads you. And if you have some whatever, deal with it. Stop running. The longer you run, you're going to keep facing the same shit. It's going to keep coming back to you. Go through the process. Toughen up a little bit. Spirit is doing this for a reason. Spirit is not going to let you fall but so much. And nowhere. You know how many times I've been laughed at? One church I was in, nobody wanted to touch me, hug me, and I was going through a whole lot of supernatural shit, and they got scared. All of a sudden, I became wicked. Just like Job, David went through it at Psalms 29. When God is dealing with you, you will go through some shit. And you may not be the most popular person in the world. Nobody wanted to deal with Joseph either. But there's going to come a turnaround, like the Wheel of Fortune tarot card. It's going to come a turnaround when you're going to be on top of the freaking world. And all of these people that played you out are going to have to bow down one way or another. Bow down. But I'm not saying don't be arrogant. But you have a right to say, whoa, thank you, God. I made it. And you have a right to say, well, look at me now. Everybody talking trash, but look at me now. Thank you, God. And I'm glad that whatever God put on me, it made me strong enough to get through this. But then let it go. Because I don't believe in bullies. I hate bullies. And I don't believe if God gives you a gift, learn how you can help people with the gift. Don't make your first move, how can I make money off this gift? Because then somehow you're going to lose the gift. So it says critical turning points in your life mark the old you and the new you. Then he puts period, 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 period. Then he says, and that's the kind of change this house represents. Now I'm saying he, I don't know who wrote it, could have been female. So the next house we're going to go to is your 9th house, because they want you to look at that with your 8th house. What is dangerously? I'll be back in a moment. All right, I'm going to finish this and I continue. Says that's the kind of change this house represents. So the 8th house is all about that transformation. What's dangerously unconscious plays out in the 8th house, and that can include power struggles with others. So again, see, I was getting ready to talk about twin souls anyway, twin flames, because this is the 8th house. And I'm gonna explain something that's gonna be very encouraging to some people. So when you have a power struggle with your twin, this is all 8th house. Both of you need healing. You also need humility, and you have to surrender. Like you're gonna wanna it's gonna have to get to the point that you want to be with this person so bad that you're willing to just humble that ego. And just, I just got to be with this person. This is my soul mission. But that's not always going to happen. Before I get into that, let's just read the rest of this. I'm going to tell you why that may not just happen. Or it's not going to happen immediately. And it's not always a bad reason why. Okay, give me this cursor's acting up. So I'm glad we did it this way. It's the life sphere of emotional soul stability. And that takes courage. It comes from facing fears, like getting to the bottom of control issues. The healing comes, now listen, I'm separating this too, because we want to talk about the healing. See, they give a lot of information, great information for the 8th house. But it's a long read. The healing comes from deep probing into the underlying currents that feed a personal demon and being liberated from it. Okay, but again, let's be honest with each other. See, that type of person may need psychological help. Now, with me and my twin, was there a lot of fear? Definitely. Probably on both sides. But there were times when I did walk up to her. And there were times when I did talk to her. And what she didn't understand was when she didn't talk to me and stuff, that shit hurt. That's why I melted down. I mean, it's like, they talk about personal demon. It's like she knew everything. And I hear Angelica. See, I have a playlist on Truth About Twin Flames. There's 2 white women with white hair. One is younger. She's good too. But Angelica, I think her thing is angel creation. She gives great information on twin flames, and they really break you down. Like, and I mean, it's got to be that way because this is all the eighth house. She's supposed to break me down, but it hurts, dude. It's like, why are you so mean? Like, it's like somebody's got fucking electric shock, and that power is so fucking powerful. Like, would you stop? And that's all I said. Like, through the whole thing, my whole life has been not to be what you're accusing me of. And it like really hurt, but there was a reason for it. You know, like I said, it's like you go to the doctor and he's fucking shocking the hell out your ass. But there's a reason for it. And I heard a pastor, I won't say his name, and the reason why I won't, because people they're third dimensional, and when you say the name, they just think of the person. Don't think of the person, think of what the person's saying. Like, really, a stop sign should be able to be any color. You see some big ass words that say stop, you should stop. But most people won't. Oh, that's pink, that's gay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh, that's a black. No, I'm not stopping at a black side. No negativity over here. Oh, yellow. It's blinding my eyes. I can't see. So that's how people are. You think I'm being funny and facetious, which I am, but that's how they are. Oh, rainbow. Since when did a stop sign become rainbow? I don't have no respect for that. What is Bozo, a clown around or something? I'm going to go anyway. So it has to be this big ass, red ass sign and say stop all loud, because that's the only way people are going to stop. Because that's how people perceive shit. Like, I could make a really, really good video, but say I put like a, kind of like a cartoonish picture on it. Instead of them looking at the title and just listening to the video, a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, or a couple of seconds to see what it is, they just look at the cartoon and say, nah, not today. No time for cartoons. Keep it moving. But then if I put like a certain picture up there, same title, wow, that looks interesting. And then they sit down and listen to it. So if I say the pastor's name, they're going to be thinking about what they heard about the pastor, blah, 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 and they're going to get off the point. So instead of doing it, I'm just going to give what he said. He said life is like God is the potter. And it's like he takes you and he's trying to make you, because it's really, we got to be made the way he wants us to be made. But if you understand a natal chart, you realize you have way more control over your life than you think. So that's the mystery. Because you say, well, God's put me through this process. But after looking at natal charts, I'm saying you put yourself through the process. You knew all this before you came here. As much as I said, well, I don't remember making no contract and I didn't come here for blah, 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 blah. The truth of the matter is you put yourself here. Everything you did, you have a say in it. And you got angels working with you. That's why if you really read the Bible, a lot of times God would send somebody and they always came with angels. Like Moses always had angels around him. When Jesus was at his weakest moment, because I think his weakest moment was in Gethsemane, because that's the only time he fell on the ground crying, talking about Abba Father. But right then he had an angel. His angel was right there to protect him and encourage him. Now everything else he went through, according to the Bible, he was kind of tough. He just didn't do a whole lot of talking, but he sure took that pain and that humiliation. You didn't see him falling down and going, oh, Abba, Father, they're hitting me. Oh, Father, Abba. But he did. But in the Garden of Gethsemane, he fell out. He couldn't even walk. Fell on his face, talking about Abba, Father. That's the weakest you ever saw him. But at that weak moment, that angel was right there. So what I'm trying to say is, we're all on these journeys, and we did have a say in it, but we may not remember that we did. So you say God is a potter, but at the same time, you're the potter too. Like you have an agent. You might be a great performer, but you have an agent. You might be like the greatest kung fu fighter in the world, but you also have an agent. Because you're going to him for like take Brock Lesnar, but he's got Paul Heyman. What would Brock be without Paul Heyman like in his early days? So he needed Paul. And not only did Brock Lesnar need Paul Heyman, he needed a whole lot of wrestlers that taught him the business and how to make sure he gets his money and stuff like in the dirty end of the business. So he needed help too. So healing and help sound a lot alike. And they both connect to hell. So I guess you got to go through hell to heal. So So you got to remember that. So now the healing comes from deep probing into the underlying current that feed a personal demon and being liberated from it. So a lot of times with the twin flame thing, you are going to go into separation. And sometimes, like, you might not even know that was your twin at first, but somehow you find out and you try to go up to this person, hey, I didn't know, and you're trying to tell them, but if every time you try to talk to them, they're being disrespectful, they won't look at you, they won't talk to you, they act like you're holding them up, and all this other stuff, they're pushing you further and further away. And then when you move further and further away, guess who comes looking for you? Your twin. That's called running and chasing. That's stages of the twin flame. And so in my particular case, it got so bad that we could no longer even be with each other, be around nowhere. And anyway, that company was supposed, I don't know if it did close down, but it was supposed to close down anyway. So in other words, the time was up. But if the time was up and we didn't get to see each other, it still was God's plan. As crazy as it sounds, it doesn't make sense to meet somebody and have all this great love and then breaking and now you're separating and now they're having kids with other people and stuff, or another person or whatever. Because now you're looking at that, how's this going to affect my life? But all of it is divine timing. So the healing process, I want to say it again, comes from a deep probing into the underlying current. Well, you two are not going to heal together because you can't even talk to each other. And it's sad because it should have been like, I don't know, we were twins, maybe we could talk about it, maybe we could heal. But every time you came up to that person was a jerk. And then when you walked away and said, forget it, I'm sick of this, and they came looking for you and stuff like that. So it's romantic in a way, but it's sad. But now it's so far apart. It's like a gulf. Like, that's the word that I keep hearing is gulf. Like, it's so freaking far apart. It's like a gulf. When we were working with each other every day, so many times the angels put us right next to each other. So many times. So it's sad. But that's how it is. Let me just say it's very sad because we were in the back many times. It was just me and her. It was so many times we were together. Could have talked, kind of worked it out. But it was times when it would normally be people in the area, and when me and her were there, it would just be me and her, no people. So the universe gave so many. If you people only knew how many areas it gave for us to talk, but we couldn't get past that. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm telling you this for this reason. The healing process comes from deep probing. So that deep probing ain't gonna come from these two people talking. But I still always will tell your twin how you feel about them. Let them know how they can contact you and give that information. Even if they never use it, you just gave them a starting point. Now you have to let go and let God, because God is going to have to deal with that person. Because you're basically saying, hey, I'm surrendering. I'm telling you, I would like to at least talk to you. Can we talk? And that person won't talk, or whatever the heck's going on with it. Indigo child, crystal child, whatever's stopping that person from talking, whoever, whatever, it's not going to happen. That's the reality of it. If they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk. And you should respect that. Because you can't just say, you're my twin soul, and I have a universal blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of true. What you just said is true, but right now you're not in the universe. You're in a state of wherever, and they will arrest your ass because that's called stalking. That's called stalking. So you got to know how to let go and let God. And you can't worry about who she's with. You can't worry about this. I'm always going to speak from a male viewpoint because I'm a male. So the healing comes from the deep probing. So that person has to, something, the universe has got to force them, Pluto or Pluto retrograde, has got to force this person to deep probe. Now, every now and then I'm doing my horoscope and they keep telling me about her. Because they'll show me the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords even has her name on it. And the Nine of Swords is about somebody that can't sleep or they're wide awake and it's like their conscience is being stabbed by these swords. And the Eight of Swords is about a person that's tied up and got all these swords around them. And some of those cards, the swords are actually in a person. So the 8th house is also about what? Karma. Now listen very carefully. Karma. See, you do dirty. You do your twin flame dirty. You do your twin soul dirty. You think it's not going to be karma? You think you're not going to have to pay when this is the darkest, most mysterious house you have? And you don't think you're going to have to pay some karma? Some type of financial loss or worse? And then you think You're going to see Neptune on your chart. Now, I'm not talking to you. Please don't take this like I'm talking to you. I'm talking to anybody that's listening that's going through this twin flame experience like I'm going through. So I'm talking to myself as well. But if you notice, you got Neptune right where your Scorpio is. And I haven't even got there yet. Because then they're going to be getting you in your dreams. Just like I'm saying about my twin. Now they're going through all this hell in their dreams. To the point she can almost not even sleep. And the card, like I said, the card even has her name on it. Talking about roses. So, but unfortunately, because people's power struggle, that Aries energy, you're not going to tell me. And that's your first house, Aries. That's where I didn't want to start. I didn't want to start at your first house, Aries. I wanted to go directly to the heart of the problem. Scorpio, what are we finding out? And again, I'm trying to make perfectly clear this chart is for everybody. This is how the universe is doing it. It's just being used because this person is nice enough to allow us to do a natal chart. But in that, she's going to be blessed because she's helping people. So she's going to get blessings. A lot of people are getting blessed. I don't even know why. Because you did this. You actually gave to the universe. It wasn't just a natal chart reading. This is something helping all these people to come here that are hurting. And now, after this video, they're going to understand the pain better in the healing process, which I'm trying to get to. So now, I've been through all that deep probing and stuff, so I'm cool. Now, I could meet with her today and just talk. I can't guarantee it would be lovey-dovey or, oh, I'm so sorry, let's get... It probably wouldn't be. But I would try to tell her how I really feel about it, I'm sorry and stuff like that, and leave it like that, and would encourage her, like, we should talk more because we're one. Like, why do we have to be separated? And if she was willing to submit to that, slowly, we could grow. But if she still came trying to do like the last time, trying to boss everything and be vindictive and going to get you back and all that, of course we're not going to heal. You're hurting me more. And that's why I'm like, man of God, like, how dare you? I stopped dating for like really 15, 20 years. Been nothing but loyal to you, and you do this to me? That's how I really felt. And I wish y'all could hear my earlier videos. But that's when everybody didn't want to listen to me because, oh, he's just ranting. He's just ranting. No, this is the twin flame experience. You idiots are running all over the internet because you want somebody to tell you, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great experience. Now you say, well, why are you talking about it now? Because it's in her chart. That's why I'm talking about it now. It's in this person who requested their chart. So instead of running all over the place, hoping somebody holds your hand and blows smoke up your you-know-what, find the truth out. It's going to be deep. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard. It's Plutonian. Saturn's going to step up. You're going to go through some lessons. So again, the healing process has to come from a deep probing. This person, somehow the universe is going to have to take that person deep into their soul, into their self. While you saw this guy coming after you. If she's honest, because she was just lying through everything. She acted like she had nothing to do with none of this. So if she can get past that lying and say, you know, he was begging you in 2014. Look, I didn't know why. You know, I just didn't understand. Let's talk. Like, we've never talked. I begged her, like, we've never talked. Because I knew what she was about to do. We've never talked. Let's talk. Let's get to know each other. She did like she did always. Looked me in my face. Went on out and did everything her way. And came back with the same messed up attitude she had before. And now me, I done seen this my whole life, so it's nothing new to me. But again, why would somebody want you when you're acting like that? And even then, I still was saying, let's talk. So she's not going to do it that way. So now the universe comes in. So now I'm getting the universe telling me, I did on my other channel, it's called Real Life and Metaphysics. I got a 3-hour video from Archangel Gabriel, and he told me this is about to happen. She's not the same person. She's humble. She was on her knees. He was showing me how she was through the cards. She's on her knees. She's hurt. Blah 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 blah. And they were basically telling me I didn't do anything wrong and don't feel guilty. And they would let me know things was about to change. And then that's what happened through the astrology. You would have to follow that channel and even this channel, but it was through the astrology. You could see things have been changing. And now they're showing me she's going through this deep probing and she's hurt and last she knows she fucked up and I never did that. That was my last words to her. I've never done anything wrong, so I don't know what the problem is. So that's the deep probing. And the reason why I'm explaining it fully, because that's how deep it's going to get. Because she's got to get to the point where next time she sees me, the last thing she's going to be on her mind is being a jerk. And I don't know when that's going to be. And I mean, don't get me wrong, she had a good moments too. But overall, it was just a jerky type of situation coming from her. And I'm sure she had to heal. I'm not putting her down. I'm just being honest. She probably had healing she had to do too. And it's sad that we couldn't heal together. But that's why I'm saying if you're a twin flamer and your twin is trying to contact you, why won't you talk? Why are you running? How is talking going to hurt? Even if you're in a relationship with somebody, how is talking to this person going to hurt? Now, the other person might be jealous or whatever, but some things they don't have to know. This is a soul union from the universe. There's nothing wrong with you talking to your soul, unless you're scared of something, or you're just mean or bitter, or whatever your problem is. Like this guy that's out here disliking every video. He's just a mean, bitter person. I don't know what he's been through in his life, but it's something wrong with him. First, you got to learn how to be a man. Men do not sit there and hit dislike buttons 10 times in a row, the same video, and keep disliking every video. There's something wrong with you. Now, maybe you were a woman in a previous life and you don't have control over your emotions. But I know a lot of women that don't do that. So I'm not putting women down. I'm putting him down. So that's the first thing. You got to get this healing. And you're going to get it one way or another. That's the universe is going to make sure you get it. So they have to do this deep probing. And through that, they say liberation. But they don't say what the liberation is. Angelica finally said she just had to surrender. She just totally surrendered, and she began to say, you know what, I have to let my twin know you're important to me. Like I have to surrender, swallow my pride. And I do have a daughter. Of course, that's important to me. I do have a job. Of course, that's important to me. But you're important too. I'm going to make myself available to you. That could mean the world to tell your twin that. That could mean the world. But that's a lot of pride you have to swallow, and a lot of third dimensional fears you have to swallow. So me, I'm past all that. I'm chilling. Like I'm happy. And I'm not putting my twin down. I want everybody to know. And I feel sorry for her. Because at the end of the day, all she wanted was love. But unfortunately, the person she wanted to love had been hurt too much. And I ain't know nothing about no twin flame or no twin soul stuff. And I didn't want to date nobody. I was doing me. So it's all a healing process. And even now, I got something else I want to say about this house because we're almost done with this house. So it says the 8th house is rich, being associated with the occult, which means hidden. It covers things like the dark psychology, crime, bad karma. See, when it says crime, it also is connected to the 12th house. Bad karma, dirty tricks, revenge, jealousy, control. It is the house of the shadow power and the transformation. And that's why David said, yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I shall fear no evil. He's talking about the 8th house. And the transformation of that rich complexity into the bedrock of our character. So the 8th house has got to strengthen your character as well. Now, again, what I learned was, well, I learned a lot, but I've been helped a lot in the last 2.5 years or so. Don't let this world beat your ass so bad that you don't want to smile anymore. Don't let this world beat you up that you're scared of people anymore. Don't let this world beat you up that you just say, no. These people don't want nothing, or they're just going to break your heart, or whatever. You got to go in with the facts that God is with you, Spirit is with you, everything will be taken care of, and you do want to stand like an adult. You want to stand like a man with courage as opposed to being like hurt. Oh, this is going to hurt me, so I'm going to hide from it. That's going to hurt me, so I'm going to hide from it. I'm going to hide from that because I'm not getting hurt no more. So that's what it's supposed to do, that transformation. But it still does not necessarily mean that if you get to that level that you and your twin are going to get together. That's a long process. Because, see, a lot of people, they want that. They need that. They need that eye contact. They need that love. They need that hugs and stuff. And some people don't want to give it, at least in that situation. Because I'm just trying to say, this is what I was going to say. We're done with this house. Basically, I just wanted to read all of that. But it's a funny thing. See, some people are intuitive. Some people are streetwise, which is still intuition. So you might meet a female where you totally like let her in for some reason. Because you feel like, I'm talking from a male point of view. You feel like it's time. I'm sick of being single. And you might meet a person that you actually are willing to give that chance again. But even then, I'm advised you better slow down. I mean, because you don't know who it is. You might let somebody all in and they're crazy, or they just, cause all this drama. So you still got to take it slow and get to know the person. But the point I'm making is you are more inclined to talk to somebody and make eye contact and start flirting with them and stuff. But I still wouldn't do that with my twin. I wouldn't have did it with my twin then, and I wouldn't do it now. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. See, I don't know if we got karma from a past life where we hurt each other really bad, or I don't know. And that's why it's still going to be difficult. Because whenever I see her, I always say talk. That's what I said in 2014. And I know she wanted to quickly because she's got that Scorpion energy. She want to jump into bed. She want to jump into bed, have a lot of babies because that's what she's doing with this guy. But now if he's not with her or whatever the case might be or whatever, now she's sitting there. According to the cards, she's miserable. But I've seen those cards all the time, and I used to work with her a lot of times, So who knows how she is? I really don't know because I'm not there. But I wouldn't be ready for that anyway. And like she'd have to really want to talk. And that would be tough. So that what I'm trying to tell you is sometimes that healing is not. They make it seem like when you see your twin again, they're gonna be healed, and you guys are gonna talk or whatever. I don't know. I'd have to believe it to see it. Because at the end of the day, y'all gotta realize everybody's got issues. See, I keep it 100. Everybody's got issues. So no matter who you meet, twin flame or not, everybody's got issues. But you still get past it. Like if you meet somebody and you're kind of interested and they're kind of interested, and then you say, well, let's go out, and they go okay or whatever, you get through it. But when you meet somebody when it's that difficult, it's going to be hard. And if you ever see that person again, all you're going to remember, deep down, you're going to be saying, this person's an asshole. And you're not really going to be that interested. You might want it or something, but you're really not going to be that. You're not going to want to try because you're going to feel like I'm not wasting my time. And then they're looking at you, and if they haven't changed, like I said, sometimes you could tell. And like I said, I could have controlled the situation, but I didn't want to do that. Because whenever I laid the law down, she would try to change and shit. She was like a weird person. Just crazy. Follow you all around, and then you try talking to her, and then she would dish you. Like, I'm stalking her. She would go tell her friend he's stalking me or he's creeping me out. And then she start following, like a week or two will go by where you would leave her alone, and then she start following you again. And then she would get jump in front of you and slam the door like behind you, and she was nuts. And then one time I finally got like upset and I told her boom, 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 bam, 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 bam. And then after that, after a week or two, then she came around trying to straighten up, like she was trying to show me she's trying to straighten up or whatever. She had like a nut job. But it was funny at the same time. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is this. That's a hard situation. Maybe everybody's twin flame situation isn't like that, but you just read the 8th house, and you can see it's right there, so it is going to be hard. But what I'm saying is I might meet somebody, and I might already just naturally want to be affectionate with this person, and all that, because there was another female that I think was a soulmate, maybe from a previous life. And these people I'm dealing with, most of these people I'm talking about are from the ancient Mayans, just so you know. And I've already got connections to I got another friend in California, and that's where she was from. My twin soul is from California. I got another friend in California, and she's from like the ancient Incas, and they're kind of like related to the Mayans. And somehow we're connected. I don't know how. It's some type of soul thing. And so the finality I'm gonna say is so I was really more affectionate with the other one. Me and her were just closer to everything. Everything was closer. And she would appreciate it immediately, So I was way more closer to her. So what I'm saying, you could meet somebody, you want to touch them because you just like them. And it's just different. But, nowadays, somebody, a lot of people are committed in a relationship or whatever, even if they're not happy, but it's still a commitment and stuff like that. It's just a lot of things. But the point I'm trying to make is you could meet somebody and instantly want to touch or want to go out or want to be with. Whereas you can meet your twin and you just got this dynamic energy, like, nah, no way. But that's before I knew she was a twin. Now I would understand it better because I know it's twin flame. But it's just like, it's this thing that's like, nah. Like, it's a lack of trust. Like, I don't trust you. But if you listen to everything she did, I could see why I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Like, I'm glad I kept my street sense. Because I didn't know what twin flame was. So there was no way I was going to understand a twin flame. I didn't know what a twin flame was. But I knew street sense. It's just something with that female. Something up with her. She don't look like the loyal type. Nah, you just see. Like, believe me. You just have to understand. Like there's, from people that are like really in the real shit, they have street sense. Like, you just know. You just know. Like, where I come from, it's like do or die. You just know. You don't trust certain things. People move a certain way. You don't fuck with them. It's like certain things you just know from just coming up. And that's the vibe I got off of her. Like, don't bother. And she did lie. She destroyed my reputation. She did a whole lot of stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you, my suspicions was kind of right. Not saying she's a bad person, but my suspicions was she proved me right. So that's what I'm saying. This would be a long thing. Because if we see each other again, she'd have to really be more mature, calm down, and she'd have to really want it. To the point, if I'm talking, at least you're looking, or if I make a suggestion, you're going to talk back. Because I seen her. That's when I had the meltdown. I seen her talk to a guy for like 2 hours straight. And that's when I couldn't take it no more. I melted down. That was it. That was the end of everything. I'm like, every time I try to talk to her, 2 words, getting really smart, disrespectful, all kind of crazy shit. Then you talk to this dude for like 2 hours? Really? And I wasn't jealous. I was hurt. But again, she's going to take it and she's going to make it jealous. So now, why did I take so much time? Is it just me ranting about my life? No, it's me explaining you what the 8th house did. So what did the 8th house do? Well, it made me stronger. I understand twin flame better. I think I'm a better, I stand better. I stand better. A lot of my ways probably I still have to look at though. But I stand better. Like I'm not really worrying about what this person thinks or all that stuff. I just stand better. And I understand the 8th house is also about business. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's good to take a long video. Because the 8th house is all about business. So if you handle your business right, that's the main thing. Because relationships come and go. And they already told you twin flame is about meeting and separating and blah, blah. You're probably going to separate again and blah, blah, blah. So you can't put all your cookies in one bag. What happens is the hole in the bag and they fall on the ground and you can't eat them. But if you got the cookies in a couple of bags. I'm not talking about women. I don't even care nothing about that. I'm talking about plans for life. See, that matters. No disrespect to nobody, but I'm a bottom line type of dude. That's what the 8th house is all about. It's business. The 8th house is all about business at the end of the day. You gotta have your shit together before you start talking about some twin soul, twin flame. Because even if they wanted to be with you, what if you ain't got nowhere for them to stay? I'm just saying you gotta have business. And that's more important. And I believe in divine timing. Because if we see each other again, communication gonna be the key. I'm talking like I just would like to know what you think because I'm not gonna be mean, but like I'm talking and you're just looking at me. I would like to know what you think. And if she still ain't got nothing to say, then why are we talking? And she gets mad because I think she wants somebody to chase her or some stuff like, "Lo, listen, I didn't come here for this shit. If I made a contract, I don't remember it. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to talk. If you ain't talking, I got business. I gotta go." So if you're a twin soul listening to this, you got to make sure that you're giving something back because how is your soul going to relate to you if all you do is play mind games or treat the guy or female like crap? So you got to get out of that 8th house mentality. And if planet Pluto is supposed to help you transform, then may that happen. Now, what I would like to do with this video, because it was so long just on one house, is continue with another video. Just leave the 8th house to 8th house. And in the next video, we're going right to the next house they told us to go to, the 9th house, because now we're going to talk about Mars. God bless.